everyone. Welcome to Apex Hours. My name is Megan Swano, and I'm very, very excited to be here to talk to you all today about tips to be able to help you niche into Salesforce and really how to identify your field of interest. So again, my name is Megan. I am a Salesforce consultant currently at Solemn, and I also on the side do a little bit of YouTubing. So you can find me at Megan Swano for the YouTube handle. So first and foremost, also, thank you to Apex Hours for having me and being able to present on this passionate topic that I am really excited to be able to talk to you all about today. So let's go ahead and start the presentation. All right. So just for some background, again, I am a Salesforce consultant currently at Solemn. I started my journey back in 2018 when I was working at UC Berkeley, and I was actually using Salesforce in the back end. And I thought to myself, there's a lot of limitations that I'm not able to do just working and as a call representative typically at that time. It was two-way role. It was an admin administrator, missions counselor, but also I had to reach out to students to be able to ultimately bring them into the program. Now, I decided to pivot into Salesforce. My journey has been working at 3 different companies and working with a lot of different clouds and organizations and really different level clients, which has been fantastic. And that's really why I feel like I'm very passionate about this topic. Now, I started off in sales and service, and I found myself really enjoying the mix of Pardot and sales. And then that moved into marketing and more of the UX designer side. So I am really here to be able to show you that no matter where you start, where you are in your career, being able to niche or pivot is completely possible. So just a little bit more background. In early of this year, 2023, if you are watching this video, I had an opportunity to launch an advanced flow 201 course internally for Solemn cohorts that come into the new academy that we have. So this typically means new Solemn representatives. So I led a team of about 8 instructors and 25 students. And really the course was designed to take you from your trailhead knowledge and push it towards you being able to feel confident ultimately with clients. So a little bit more, if you want to follow me, I am also a Salesforce coach. I help students be able to navigate into Salesforce, but also advance your career with resume and LinkedIn tips. Salesforce YouTuber, as I mentioned earlier. I'm also an expert author at Salesforce Ben, so I create a lot of awesome content in regards to career. And then lastly, I am the founder of the Salesforce Professionals Discord server. Go Discord. I have a team of 8 amazing moderators. So let's go ahead and hop into the topic. I'm keeping it low in slides because there's a lot of information. So my agenda today is to be able to recap on my story into Salesforce and how that's going to help you with yours. Also, I want to talk about how the industry has changed and perhaps what you can start seeing in the future. Next, I want to be able to talk to you about what a client wants. What are they looking for when they're hiring you? If you're going out for job interviews right now, how do you make yourself more attractive as a candidate? And then lastly, we're going to talk about how you can also grow your skills. So whether that's creating your own experience, I'm a huge advocate for that and have done that a lot myself. Take opportunities working in different areas. We all have to do some things that we don't like sometimes, or we're not as interested in, should I say, but it opens up a lot of great doors. And then I also want to talk about what other skills you can start developing to be able to stand out in the Salesforce ecosystem. And then lastly, once you have all of those completed, we're also going to talk about how do you find clouds that complement each other and how do you get into that? So these are really the main areas that I want to talk to you all about today. Let's go ahead and hop into the first one. Now, again, my Salesforce story really evolves around pivoting. I worked at different agencies and I was able to figure out, depending on the industries that they worked with, the clouds experience that they had typically hired on or brought on their clients for. So I was able to really put in different roles. I was a business analyst, I was more of a Salesforce consultant, and then now I do more of Salesforce coaching, BA work, and also configuring. So I'm able to really dabble. Now, I really find that it's important for people that are newer to Salesforce specifically, I'm going to talk to right now, is that when you come into the Salesforce ecosystem, you're going to see a lot of people go into certain areas. And I did that myself. the key here is to realize is that you, yes, of course, have to get your Salesforce admin certification to be able to show that you have an understanding of the Salesforce platform. But from there, you're really able to dabble into other core clouds of Salesforce, which can be Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and then you can start pivoting. Once you get your hands on that and get some experience, you're going to start seeing how businesses intertwine. So kind of referencing back to Sales and Service Cloud, that can easily go into marketing. Every company at the end of the day needs to be able to market their product. Why am I going to buy a specific cell phone from Apple? And you're going to see a lot of those things come into play. So that's kind of what my experience is within Salesforce. I grew my knowledge by having hands-on, by able to raise my hand when opportunities came up that I may have not been interested in, but it's an opportunity for you to be able to really pivot into an area that you might find interesting. Now, let's talk about how the industry has changed since 2018 when I started and now currently 2023, what it's looking like now. So when people first started coming in, we all know that Salesforce admin certificates were the hot thing. You have an admin certificate, you're pretty much okay to go. Now, what we're seeing since the pandemic, and I specifically want to highlight that, is that a lot of companies are coming online, and specifically from my UC Berkeley Master's in Data Science experience working with those type of students, you're going to see a lot of companies looking for 5 years of experience, 3 years, 3 certifications, so many things. And you can, I've really seen a big mirror reflection of what companies that are not consultancies are looking for Salesforce admins. And if you walk into that, and if you see that when you're actively applying for jobs, take in the mind that this employer is growing their knowledge on Salesforce too. So don't get discouraged. Definitely still apply. And this is kind of what I want to go into of how you can grow your skills. Now, if you are, and I'm specifically talking to freshers that come into the industry, these are ways that you can start developing your own portfolio to be able to be more attractive for an employer in the future. Now, there's ideas which you can do that range from building your portfolio, which we've seen. But the difference of what we see online is you want to stand out. Right? What are you growing? What are you developing? What are your architectural and thought processes behind creating a portfolio? So this is a perfect opportunity for you to be able to take your skills, showing that technical side, but also your soft skills to the next level. Now, other areas that you can look into is, of course, looking into certain additional products, such as Slack. We have Tableau mentioned, Conga. These are very niche areas and oftentimes services that Salesforce consultancies, for example, that I work with, companies and clients usually want to configure that. It's a great addition. A lot of people are working with documents nowadays. They're not going in and saying, hey, can you sign this document for me? It's being sent to you. Everything that we know with DocuSign, with anything that you want to come on, you just sign it and go. So start thinking to yourself, what is something that you see in businesses, whether you're ordering something to come from your home, you're talking in the grocery store, and you're seeing a process that could be a lot better. Think about these things at home and what you can start saying, okay, these companies would benefit from it, and then start looking into that. So that's a perfect number one way of starting to stand out and thinking about employers and what they might be looking for. And then there's also those opportunities once you get hands-on with Sales Cloud, or you're starting and you just got your admin certificate, there's areas that you can look into, such as Marketing Cloud. Now, remember, and I love Marketing Cloud for this reason, it's because you have sales, service, and then you have to always remember what is kind of complementary to the clouds that I'm working with. Marketing might be, for example. So this is a great opportunity. There's tons of boot camps out there. Apex Hours is great about getting marketing material out there. And you can also look all around the other Salesforce partners that may be offering services trainings for that. Now, this is the second great option if you are looking to stand out as a candidate. So let's just kind of revisit that one more time. There's additional products that you can get certified in or gain knowledge on, and that you can talk to when you're going into an interview or showcase on your resume. That can be Slack, Tableau, working with Conga, documents. Think about easy ways for clients to be able to give things to their clients. What is a way that we can streamline? And then the next area that you can focus on to be able to grow yourself is having those niche areas like Pardot, field service lightning, marketing. These are really great areas to get into. Now, that's how I see the ecosystem going right now. There is a lot of change of employers wanting to hire people that have multiple skills. And I want to be able to talk into the mental health side of this. It's great that you have an interest in Salesforce, that you're pushing yourself, but also realize by stacking so many things, you don't want to necessarily do that. Really take some time to look at the different products out there. And I know that you won't know right off the bat, it comes with experience too, but this is your opportunity to start talking to professionals that have been in the industry for 2, 3, 5, 10 years. What have you seen change? What is popular? What is an area that I can get into? And kind of jot down some hobbies that you enjoy yourself and say, how can I mesh these? How can I start developing my own skills with them? Do I like analytics? Then Tableau might be something of interest to you. Do I like kind of creating content like myself? Then I'm going to go into the marketing, the UX design. You want to make sure that you're bringing some type of project background to be able to talk to these area of interest for yourself. So make sure, going back to mental health, make sure to take care of yourself, don't overwhelm yourself, and really make sure that you're breaking down the areas that you find of interest to move forward with. And then lastly, what I have here is finding clouds that complement each other. This means going back to the marketing example, sales and service cloud complement each other. So start thinking, Service Cloud, Sales Cloud, and Field Service Lightning definitely complement each other. So as you keep progressing, as you keep growing in your career, these are really great paths to start considering for yourself. So let's go ahead and head to the next slide. A little bit more about my story, because I think it's really going to help a lot of people that are starting. Again, this little circle of everything in there. That's how I felt at the beginning. Where do I go? You're going to get that feeling most likely, but you're going to be excited about it. So start unwinding things that do interest you. Consultants need to understand your customers too. You need to be able to make sure that you're taking time to learn the material that you are, whether that's Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Field Service Lightning. Understand why you're learning the certifications and how that could benefit your clients and the people that you're possibly working with in the future. The industry is going to continue seeking professionals that focus on certain skills. Now, what I've seen from my experience and all 3 consultancies that I worked with, if you have a skill that is in high demand, you're most likely going to stand out more than everybody else who has certain certifications. And that puts you in a really good position. But one thing to also look out to is not to niche yourself unless you don't want to. So while you have a certification in marketing, if you have an interest in Pardot and UX design and Field Service Lightning, e-commerce, they all kind of go into one little ball, right? Start developing those skills over time. Become very good at what you're doing and then develop. And then lastly, do not hinder your possibilities of landing a position, but instead of following a same path to stand out. And that's something that I had to do early into my career. I had to kind of say, where are your interests? Where do they lie? Is there an opportunity for you to grow there? And there was not at that current time. So that's how I pivoted into creating content and really getting on here and sharing an expertise. So definitely give yourself some self-reflection. I think that this is a huge part of the topic of finding your niche, just giving yourself self-reflection to find out where you want to go and what you're enjoying. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So adding to your toolbox, how do you gain expertise? Like Megan, how do you do this? And Jesse, that's a great question. So one of those ideas that you can start playing with is creating your own experiences, creating your own project. Something specifically that I did with a Discord server was bringing on individuals who could dedicate 3 to 4 hours a week, for example, and be able to create a website for our Discord server for our 2 developers that we have. They were able to create an entire website from Experience Cloud use certain features within the developer realm, and then that's how they could talk to it. So while there may not always be volunteer positions, there's an idea where you can build portfolios. And again, kind of referencing doing more than the about me, my resume. What can you bring to the table? Can you create a traveling app, perhaps, or a hiking app? I have a friend who just created a hiking app. And when you go into the phone, you can see all the new areas near you to hike, to go out with. You can chatter other people saying, hey, I'm going out to XX mountain. Do you want to come with me? So that's a way to make things really engaging. So think about some fun products that you can create. I do have a lot of content actually from Salesforce Ben, which you can check out in regards to getting creative, getting your hands dirty, and really creating your portfolio. Now, the second area is going to be take opportunities to work in different areas, raise your hand, participate more. This is something that I actually learned in the past year. Now, when we think about Salesforce, it's not just technical skills, it's also soft skills that you can develop. It's also business analyst skills, as we've seen. You can learn how to organize a project. I created a course, and you may not understand, I may not understand everything with flows, but now I understand how to lead, how to direct, how to get things together, how to participate, how to speak confidently. These are all great skills which you can start developing yourself. So if you do have the opportunity to take on something that's in your capacity, use that to be able to learn more, and you might end up learning something that you actually love and you want to move forward with. And then second to last is niche. Pardot, field service lightning, etc. Talk about or find things that you really, really enjoy, and find out if there's a specialization in that area. You know, you may like it, you may not like it, but the whole point is that you're taking that pivot. And if you're in Salesforce, you're going to have a whole bunch of years to be able to find out what you do and don't like. So don't feel like you need to find your niche today. It will come over time. And then lastly, find clouds that complement each other and will continue growing. We have new AI, we have Genie that's coming into play. What does that mean for us? How can we pivot into that direction? For a while it was NFTs. So what can we do with that? Be the first to kind of get on there, talk about it, share the knowledge that you're learning. So these are my advice to adding to your toolbox, to growing, to finding out more about what you like and what you enjoy. And I hope that was helpful. So that's all I have for you today. Remember, at the end of the day, it is not a race. You're going to find things that you enjoy doing, whether that is Pardot, marketing, field service lightning, CPQ, e-commerce. The list truly does go on, but always think about ways that you can stand out in the crowd, to be able to grow your own career. So again, thank you so much, Apex Hours, for having me here. Make sure to follow them on Twitter at Salesforce Apex Hours. You can also check out their amazing website that has great content on there, at apexhours.com. And then, of course, at their company page on LinkedIn. And right now you're already on YouTube, so fantastic. Don't forget to subscribe to their channel. And I will see everybody in the next video. Bye.